Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, well, we've got a story from the wild that's got drama, setbacks, resilience, everything, really. We're focusing on one of Africa's most just magnificent birds of the Goliath heron, and the recent roller coaster of a nesting journey. And guiding us, sharing his fantastic observations, is someone who truly knows his stuff. We're talking about Birdwatcher, Ben Fuchsia. Ben's not just a bird lover, he's actually a BirdLife South Africa preferred tour operator and guide. Plus, a registered national tour guide for nature and culture. So his insights, top-notch. Right, so our mission today is to really follow this Goliath heron story at Sedgefield Island using Birdwatcher's fantastic documentation. We want to unpack their resilience, the tough challenges, and this hopeful new chapter that seems to be starting. Okay, so let's dive in. Birdwatcher's journey with these specific herons kicked off back in January 2024, and it started with something pretty exciting, but also a little odd.
Yeah, that's right. The first big observation from Birdwatcher, January 2024, was definitely a success story. He saw a Goliath heron chick being raised by its parents on the island in Sedgefield.
Okay, great start.
And this chick was already, pretty big, about 50 days old, nearly ready to fledge. So it had made it through those really vulnerable early stages, which is huge for a bird this size.
50 days, wow. That's a serious investment. But you mentioned something intriguing. Birdwatcher saw 3 adult birds hanging around the nest. That's not typical, is it?
Exactly. And that's where it gets really interesting right off the bat. Goliath herons, they're generally seen as monogamous, one pair raising the young. So spotting 3 adults there consistently, it definitely makes you wonder what's going on.
Right. So not necessarily a threat, this third bird. Could it have been helping out?
Well, that's the fascinating possibility. In some bird species, especially colonial nesters, you do see helpers. Often they're related, like siblings from an earlier brood, or sometimes even unrelated birds pitching in.
Huh. Did Birdwatcher see it actually, like, feeding the chick or defending the nest?
His notes at that time didn't specify, like, seeing it bring fish. But its constant presence, being accepted near the nest, suggests it was more than just passing through. Maybe helping with vigilance, keeping an eye out for predators, or even nest defense.
So it hints at potentially more complex social stuff going on than we might assume.
Precisely. It suggests that maybe, under the right conditions, perhaps lots of food available or a really secure spot, their social structure might be a bit more flexible. It's a tantalizing little detail, opens up questions about their family dynamics.
Okay, so a successful chick, maybe even with a helper around, sounds promising.
Right.
But then, well, this is where the story takes a turn, isn't it? It gets a bit tough.
Yeah, it does. Nature isn't always straightforward. Later in 2024, the herons tried again. Same spot, which makes sense, right? It worked before.
Makes total sense.
But this time, disaster. Their nest was completely destroyed, wrecked. And not by weather or, a typical predator. It was gray herons.
Gray herons, wow. They just came in and smashed it. Why?
It forced the Goliath herons to just abandon the whole attempt. It's brutal, but it happens. That kind of competition between species for the best nesting spots, it's a very real thing in nature.
Even against the biggest heron in Africa. You'd think they could hold their own.
You would, wouldn't you? Goliath herons are huge, over a meter tall sometimes. But gray herons, while smaller, can be incredibly aggressive and territorial, especially about prime nesting locations. And Sedgefield's Island, near Swartfly Lake, that's prime real estate for fish-eating birds.
So it wasn't just random aggression, it was strategic, like claiming territory.
Exactly. It's about resources, eliminating the competition for that perfect spot. It's a stark reminder, really, that even for large, powerful birds, survival and breeding involve constant challenges and threats. Success can be fragile.
Man, that's rough, losing a whole breeding attempt like that. What does that usually do to birds? Does it make them give up on the area?
It's a massive setback, energetically speaking. All that effort building the nest, maybe even laying eggs, gone. It often leads exactly to what Birdwatcher observed next, actually. A kind of learned caution, maybe a change in strategy. They remember negative experiences, even if not quite like we do, and adapt their behavior.
Which leads us to the good news.
Yeah.
Because nature does bounce back, right? And just last week, August 18th, 2025, Birdwatcher had some genuinely thrilling news.
Oh, absolutely. It was fantastic news. He spotted the Goliath herons back at the island. They return.
Yes. Okay, so what's different this time?
Get this. They've chosen a new site, but not just any site. It's higher up, in a really sturdy, secure fork of a tree. And they are seriously building a robust new nest, like really going for it.
Higher up, that sounds deliberate.
And birdwatchers specifically noted they seemed much more defensive, fiercely guarding the spot against any potential intruders. It feels like they've learned from that previous disaster.
That's fascinating. So the height difference, that's the key adaptation here. How does that specifically help them against, say, those aggressive gray herons?
Well, think about it. A higher nest gives them a much better view all around. They can spot trouble coming, whether it's from the air or something trying to climb. And crucially, it makes it way harder for competitors like gray herons, which are more ground-oriented when attacking nests, to actually reach and destroy it.
Right. Harder access, better vantage point. Makes perfect sense.
It really does.
Yeah.
And that fierce defense Birdwatcher mentioned, more aggressive calls, more threat displays when other big birds get close. It screams, "We learned our lesson, stay away!" It's just incredible adaptability, real persistence driven by that powerful instinct to breed.
It shows they're not just, blindly repeating patterns. They're adjusting.
Yeah.
And presumably they need fuel for all this building and defending. Are they still active elsewhere?
Oh, absolutely vital point. Yes, Birdwatcher also notes the adults are very active foraging in Swartflay Lake nearby, constantly fishing. That's crucial. They need to keep their energy levels way up for this massive effort, building, incubating later, and then feeding hungry chicks.
Because heron chicks eat a lot, right?
Yeah. They are incredibly demanding, need a constant supply of fish. So successful foraging now directly impacts whether this whole new attempt can succeed down the line. It lays the groundwork.
Okay, so they've got a better spot. They're defending it fiercely. They're fueling up. What's the hopeful outlook now? What are we watching for?
The hope is genuinely high this time. Given the strategic move, the sturdy nest, that heightened vigilance, Birdwatcher thinks, fingers crossed we could see an egg or two appear in the next few weeks.
Oh, brilliant.
And then maybe, just maybe, a new chick hatching 3 or 4 weeks after that. Everyone's sort of holding their breath and really rooting for them. It feels like they've earned it.
Absolutely. And this whole detailed story, the ups and downs, it's just such a great example of the kind of thing birdwatcher Ben Fuchsia brings to light, isn't it? The level of observation is amazing.
It really is, and that's his strength. Ben has this knack for not just seeing things, but understanding the context, the behavior, the drama, and sharing it in a way that's really engaging. It gives you this fantastic window into their world.
Yeah, whether you're a total bird nerd or just someone who appreciates nature.
Exactly. He makes it accessible. You feel like you're almost there with him.
So if you listening are as captivated by this as we are, you really should check out Birdwatcher's work more deeply. The place to go is his website, www.birdwatcher.co.za. That's www.birdwatcher.co.za. He's got a blog and news section there with all the latest adventures, observations, photos, videos, updates on stories just like this one.
And it's not just, a few posts. The website is seriously packed. Videos bringing bird behavior to life, amazing photo galleries, trip reports that give you insights into different locations. It really is a treasure trove for anyone interested in nature.
And definitely subscribe to the Birdwatcher newsletter while you're there. The tagline is perfect. No spam, just feathers.
Ah, that's good.
Right, you get the latest trip reports, rare bird alerts sometimes, photo highlights, news from the field. It's a great way to just stay connected.
Yeah, and it's important to say this isn't just for, the super serious twitchers chasing rare sightings. Ben's work, the resources on the site, they appeal really broadly.
How so?
Well, think about it. Bird photographers will find inspiration and maybe location tips. Regular bird watchers just enjoying being out there. Families looking for cool educational things to do outdoors. Even schools learning about ecosystems. There's genuinely something valuable for pretty much everyone. He makes connecting with nature really accessible and exciting.
That's fantastic. So we followed this incredible journey. The initial success, that really tough setback with the gray herons, and now this determined, hopeful return to a new, higher nest. It's quite the saga.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, doesn't it? What does following a specific story like this, blow by blow, teach us about the bigger picture? About how interconnected everything is in an ecosystem? And maybe how much more we can learn about resilience, about adaptation, just by paying close attention. Even when things get difficult, it's a lesson in persistence, really.
A powerful lesson. So once again, if you want to follow stories like this, maybe plan your own nature outing or just enjoy some incredible wildlife photography and insights, head over to www.birdwatcher.co.za. Subscribe to that newsletter, explore the site. Supporting Birdwatcher's work also helps promote conservation and education just by shining a light on these amazing creatures and their habitats. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope you keep looking closely at the natural world around you.